I was just so moved by the city of Torino, which hosts that gathering every year for 10,000 farmers from 152 countries. And they bring them into their homes. It's a kind of hospitality, and it's something very, very beautiful. We tried to do that, and we are continuing to do that as a fundraiser in Washington, D.C. It's called Sunday Suppers. As chefs, and you have such great chefs around the city, that each chef goes into someone's home and cooks for a small but diverse number of people that come and pay, and all of the proceeds go to the homeless center. So we're going back to Washington to give money to DC Central Kitchen and Martha's Table. But it's, I would say around the country, I've seen a garden on the mayor's roof in Chicago, and a lot of projects that he's inspired in that city. That's one place. I love what's happening in Louisville, Kentucky. They're in that really pressed place of agriculture and of course joblessness. I'm hopeful for New Orleans. If a lot of they're in a desperate place, but there is a culture there that is so beautiful and hospitable, and they're able to work together easily. They aren't in competition. There's a lot to be learned in the South. I think a lot of things are happening in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, because of the CDC, which is there, the desperation of homelessness there. Can I answer another question? I could just rattle on here. Yes.
Hi, my name is Tamara Engel, and thank you so much for being here today. My question is about the reform that just passed for school lunches. What kind of impact do you see that really having, and what can Sacramento specifically do to take advantage of those changes and any funding that might be available from them?
Well, I have to say that I don't know the details of that bill. I just know that it's important that we're having a conversation about children and food. That's a big leap forward, and the fact that it doesn't seem to be a partisan issue. Now, isn't that amazing? That we can agree that we should feed children something that's good for them, and that we should feed the people in this country with the food safety bill, food that's uncontaminated. Now, these are breakthroughs from my point of view. But in fact, I think that a school lunch needs so much more than 16 cents. It needs $5 a day for each child. It has to have that kind of money so that we can give the money to the farmers who are taking care of the land. I want to give it directly to them. They are precious, precious people. And we have to elevate the idea of the farmer. We need them desperately on this planet. We need to make that the most desirable job, and we'll never do that if we don't pay them a living wage. So that's kind of where I am about it. Again, that cheerleading from Congress, from the president, cannot be underestimated.
Thank you. My name is Robin Kroc, and thank you very much for being here. You started to touch on my question at the beginning of the questions about the money and the funding. Right now, we don't have the $5 reimbursement rate for lunches. We have at least one school district in Sacramento that has 50,000 students and a 75% free and reduced lunch program rate. Where does the money come from?
Well, I was a little bit thinking I was naive before $500 billion was given to the banks. I thought I was just, no, I don't need $500 billion. I'll take $250 billion. Start. There is money. There is money. I think right now that the most interesting kind of money comes from things like soda tax and partnerships with billionaires who care about education. That would be Bill Gates and probably Google and conceivably Apple, and who knows who else would really come into a partnership if it were run by the mayor of the city or the governor of a state. What they don't like to do is give money which they think sort of goes down the drain of public education. We have to really rebuild public education in California, and it makes me heartsick to see what's happened at the University of California. Heartsick. It's the greatest university in the world. We used to be #1 in education in the United States, in public schools, when I was in school at Cal. I paid $96 a semester for my public, of course, I was out there demonstrating the whole time. I guess I was being educated really well. Well, for the future. Yes.
Steve Cohn, Sacramento City Councilman. It took us a while to get green on front yard edible landscaping. We finally allow it. We used to say you couldn't, had to be turf. But now some of my colleagues are dragging their feet a little bit on backyard chickens. What can you tell us about that?
We need those chickens. We need those chickens, and we need the chickens not only for their divine eggs, but we have chickens at the Edible Schoolyard in Berkeley, and there are about 15 different breeds of chickens. So the children, when they hold them, they embrace the ideas of biodiversity right there in the chicken, and the color of the eggs right there. They're eating biodiversity. So, and they happen to be very cozy friends for some of the kids who don't have any friends. And so I'd like to, in defense of chickens, I'll come and testify. And I was always frightened of chickens because I thought those penned up ones always are pecking your legs. But these guys are around the garden and eating all the bugs. So you let me know when I need to come.
Give a round of applause for Alice Wyatt. She said, am I going to announce that this is what we're doing? So yes, we're announcing. We're going to start off here. Hey, before we leave, really quickly, the regional action plan, we're going to announce it's the state of the city. So all the hard work we've been doing is going to pay off. As you know, Alice is inducted into the California History Hall of Fame, so her picture's in the hallway if you'd like to see it on the way out. The leadership team and elected officials and Mayor Adams and others, Julia, Yvette, City Manager, come on the stage. We'll take a picture with Alice Waters and Mayor Adams. Thank you all very much for coming.
Yeah, are you ready? Yeah.